Okay, uh, welcome to episode 4 of my Zeus Let's Play. So, this is where we left off last time. In the next episode, it looks like we're going to be founding a colony, which is going to be a slightly different mechanic from what we've been doing up to now. So let's check that out. We have to select where we want to put our colony. In a lot of adventures, you'd have the option of picking multiple places. In this one, though, we just have one option, Cydonia. So we're going to check Cydonia and choose this location.
The people of Crete are wary of you, and an old beggar man reveals the reason.
Once a woman was spotted far off our shores, approaching our island on the crest of a giant, foamy wave. As the woman drew closer, it became clear that she wasn't riding on the sea, but on the back of a great white bull. The bull deposited the woman on our shores, and Talos, a bronze man forged by Hephaestus, guards the woman night and day. The bronze man guards our island too, preventing invaders from doing us harm. It has been prophesied that a leader from Thebes will come to our island and take this woman from us. We fear that if this leader succeeds, Talos will no longer guard our island. And since you are from Thebes, you might just be the one that will change our world completely.
Okay, so we're now on Crete, and it looks like we may have to tangle with Talos. So our objective is going to be to set aside wood and wine. Now this is good. If this colony can produce wine, then that's going to give us a good supply of wine for our home city when we go back there. We'll still have to buy it, although the colony will give us tribute, and that tribute might be in the form of wine if we're lucky. So let's get to the city and check out the map. All right, let's take a look at this map. Now, as I'm sure you can notice from the window behind me and a variety of other subtle cues, this is actually not the same recording session. I just saved and reloaded in the game. Let's take a look at this and remind ourselves of what it is that we are trying to do. So we're looking for wood and wine. Straightforward enough. Our map is relatively small. Don't have a lot of space to work with here because it's mostly water. But we do have some nice meadows here and lots of trees. Alright. What resources do we have access to? So for food, we can grow onions. And we can plant grapes. We also have access to sheep. Alright, so no olives. If we want to get olive oil, that means we'll have to import it. Now, I think we can probably... Yeah, we just have to import olives. I think we can probably complete the objectives without needing olive oil. We're going to try and do that. So rather than spend all of our money on importing olives to level up houses we don't need, we can probably get by with just, what is it, tenements, I think, is the level that takes olive oil to advance. But we do have access to wine, which is good. And we have timber, which is also good. So we should be alright for that. And I think that's all the important stuff. Yes. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up the world map and see what we have for trade. Notably, we're looking for someone who's going to buy timber. He'll buy wine. Buys onions. Wine. Okay, so no one's going to buy timber. We could potentially sell wine, though, if we need money. So it's good. You always want to try and have some sort of a source of income. Now, let's get going. I'm thinking we can probably just put our first housing block here. So we'll clear some of these woods away. And then I'll put my, my farms and grapes up here on these cliffs. And we shouldn't need a massive population to complete this scenario, I wouldn't think. So we'll try and keep this as small as possible and still complete our goals. As you can see, we share money So in this scenario, we're spending the money that we earned in our main city, Thebes, I believe it is. And any money that we spend here, we don't get back. So we'll try and accomplish this as inexpensively as possible to reserve funds for improving our main city. Because realistically, once we complete the objectives, the stuff that we build in this particular area doesn't actually matter anymore. I may have made this a bit small, but I think as long as I can fit these buildings in here, we should be alright. And an Agora, of course. Food and police. Alright, let's speed this up and get some people in here. Okay. Sorry about that. My phone started ringing. Forgot about that. Shouldn't happen again. Now, looks like we need employees. That's to be expected. And we'll get these people in. Now, just like with Thebes, we're going to need to get food going first. Uh-oh. So, under King Minos, Gnosis has grown into a significant city. Do you remember... Oh, and Talos is here. Crap, where's he? Okay, so this... Oh, lots of stuff happening. This might be a problem. To be completely honest with you, where he is, we can probably just ignore him. Unless he starts wandering over into this area, it won't be a problem. But we could take him out with Jason. I don't know if we get anything special for doing that. We'll take a look at that. But first off, do you remember back towards the beginning when there was that little pip here for Gnosis? Well, now that Gnosis has blossomed, it's actually a city that we can interact with. So as you can see, they're here. We can trade with them. They'll buy fleece, and they sell olive oil and wood. Probably not going to be all that significant for us in this, but it may be useful when we get back to Thebes. Now let's quick see what we need to bring in Jason and see if that's going to be necessary for us to do or not. Ooh, yeah. So, 3 triremes. That's going to require us to get, well, it's going to take weapons, wood, and 300 people to man those 3 ships. 2 horseman companies, that's going to require the maximum level of elite housing. And horses are going to require us to import wheat, if we can even get them. I don't even think that we can make horses, to be honest with you. So this whole thing is moot. I think we're just going to have to accept the fact that we don't have access to this area here. And be thankful I didn't decide to put our first houses there. Okay, anyway, we're looking for... Let's check out Egypt too quick. They buy olive oil, sell bronze armor, and wheat. Alright. That actually is not going to be too bad. That's another thing we can export back when we get back to Thebes. Olive oil is worth quite a bit. Anyway, we were looking at putting down some food, huh? So let's stick farm. Well, we can put a farm here, and we can just put farms along this road. And we're of course going to need a maintenance office. And I'm going to go ahead and be wasteful and stick the granary there. And we are going to want to keep our personnel on this plateau. He doesn't, well, he's going to wander out, and we'll see if he gets killed by Talos or not. If one of your walkers gets killed, the building just sends out another one. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we got food going. That is good. Now we are going to need to get wine and timber up and running. Neither of which should be too bad to do in this little area that we have here. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead. This is gonna be a little bit out of the way, but we are pressed for space, just crammed into this little corner. I'm going to throw some storage yards over here so we can actually store the stuff that we need. That. And how many workers do we have? 30 workers needed. Okay, so yeah, we definitely... As a matter of fact, I'm going to let the food start flowing so we get more people in here before I start putting anything else down. Just so we don't run out of supplies and get stretched too thin. Okay, there we go. And we now have some unemployment. Sweet. Well, good for us because we're hoping to expand. Perhaps not good for the people out of work right now. But yeah, let's get fleece running next. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop down a pair of carding sheds. And we can just throw the sheep over here. Okay. And we are still looking pretty good for workers. So I think we may actually even just have enough workers now to finish the scenario without any further housing upgrades, although we'll certainly get them. So we're going to need to set up an industry for wine and an industry for timber. Now the way that wine works is it works very similarly to olive oil in that you have the Growers Lodge building that you put down. And I'm going to do 2 of them. Right? And then you put down grapevines, which are basically olive trees, except they're grapes. Talk about banal statements. And the growers will go out and tend these, and that's going to produce grapes. And then you could take the grapes and send them to a winery. And I'm going to put down 4 wineries because I believe it's two production buildings to a grower's lodge. We'll see if I have not enough or too much in the way of grapes. And then the grapes will wind up in the wineries and produce wine. And our goal is just to stockpile a bunch of it. So we don't have to do anything special for that. Now for timber... Oh hey, I've got some free olive oil. Now for timber, we are going to need to put down a timber mill. And this is just going to send out guys that chop wood and bring it back. So we'll put these here, sort of close to these trees. Employees needed, that's alright, we're getting fleece here soon. So we should be in good shape for that. Now we are running out of food. Do I seriously not have enough farms to sustain that few houses? That's odd. I'll put down another pair of farms just in case. And let's see if we can... I'll tell you what. Since we're losing all these people, we're now going to have a pretty substantial worker deficit, which is going to theoretically reduce the amount of food that we get, which is going to cause this horrible feedback cycle where we run out of people. Now we can actually fix this by reallocating labor. So this workforce allocation panel lets you pick basically the priority of each of your sectors and also lets you completely shut down entire industries. Now, until we get the food situation squared away, it doesn't make much sense to be producing wood, wine, or grapes, because that's not going to help us get back on track. And now just by deactivating those industries, you'll see we have 105 workers needed, and now we have unemployment. Now that's about to go away because the houses are continuing to devolve, but once this food makes it to market, we'll be okay again. So I'm not super worried about that. Let's go ahead and speed the game up just a bit until that happens. And okay, good. There we go. We have people again. And now I can go ahead and turn those industries back on. I should point out, you can also when you adjust the priority. So for example, if I say, for example, the storage and distribution is high priority, it's going to shuffle the workers around and pull them from other places to make sure that that particular sector gets the workers that it needs. So that's also an option if you don't want to completely shut down an industry. You can shuffle people around in that way. Okay. And now, unless, you know, barring something traumatic occurring, we wait. I think I have this well enough balanced that we should be good to go. So this is where the game gets a little bit dull, to be honest with you. In situations like this where we can continue to build, but that's rather a waste of money. Oops. We could potentially turn it around, sell stuff, and make some money. As a matter of fact, let's try that, because we have some time to kill while we wait for our lumber and our wine to accumulate. What do we appeal? Oh, we're gonna need some more workers if we're gonna do that, so let's get some parks in and try and get this going. Otherwise, it's just a matter of putting the game on fast speed and waiting. Now, what can we sell? We could sell fleece to Crete. That would be easy. We could sell fleece to Libya. We could also sell wine. Now, selling wine is actually going to slow us down quite a bit in terms of meeting our objective. So I'm not going to do that. But let me see about expanding my fleece production here a little bit, because we're barely producing enough, I think. And we can try selling some fleece to the Gnosis. If I want to expand my fleece production, I'm going to need more carding sheds. Go ahead and plop a few down. Move that roadblock so our maintenance guy can get here. And that'll allow us to put in more sheep. Let's fill this area with sheep. There we go. And we can begin selling fleece. Now actually, hold up. I'm not going to sell it yet until we get a little bit of a stockpile. Because the last thing I need is to... I don't have any wine, and there's no way I'm getting that much wine within 6 months. Plus, you're that... Yeah, you're Mouth Siron, you're the annoying guy. Tell you what, when we start the next level, or the next episode, and I get my army back, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and conquer this guy. He'll never ask me for wine again. Who am I kidding? He still will. Okay. It actually looks like we are not producing enough grapes to keep my 4... He doesn't have enough food. Well, it'll come. I don't think we're producing enough grapes to keep these guys busy. And I'm not sure if the solution to that is more growers' lodges or more grapevines, but I'll put in some more grapevines first. See if that helps. We'll just scatter these around. I may need more growers' lodges too. Wouldn't be the end of the world. You know what? I have unemployment anyway, don't I? A little bit. I'm just gonna plop down another grower's lodge. Stick it there. That's fine. We're only missing 4 workers, so I think we can live with that. Oh wait, I'm producing excess onions too. Is there someone who buys onions? Yeah, Caledon. Let's try that. Hopefully I'm producing enough that I'm not going to starve my people out by doing that. Worst case scenario, I can just put in more farms. And I can, I think, get a pretty easy housing upgrade by just throwing a podium in here. And a college out here. And I'll allocate some of those workers to some more onion farms, I guess, just to make sure we don't... Yeah, you're not getting your wine, I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry about it. There we go. Safe. Spam buildings everywhere. And now that we have that stuff set up, let's throw it on fast speed and just watch. We're close to having enough wood, I think, to, yeah, we need quite a bit of wine. Ooh, do I have enough extra food to send to him? What is it? Fulfill request. I don't have enough. Alright. I don't think Gnosis is going to get his food. Unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about that. He'll be alright. And we definitely have enough wood, so set that aside. Oh, really? So this is our parent city asking for wine. We better send it if I have it. Do I have 16 wine? Not yet, but I will soon. Alright. My people starve, Minos. It's your fault. And we'll send that wine. That's going to slow us down, but hopefully not by too much. Come on. Now we're in a race of which is going to happen first. I run out of food or the onions finish growing. Alright, onions finished. Of course, everyone immediately ran it to the trading post before the granary, because why not? But I think we'll... Alright, food distribution has resumed. So this should be a very minor and temporary upset here. And we're back. And now I think we're good to begin selling fleece again. And put down some more storehouses. The fast speed setting is nice, but it's very easy to just sort of sit here and stare for 5 minutes and everything falls apart very quickly. So we were sitting there basically not producing fleece effectively because there was nowhere to put it. Really? We won the Nemean Games. That's funny. I'm gonna cap you at 24. Oh, because we're now running out of fleece because it's all in the trading post. Sometimes the automatic resource management in this game is funny. Sometimes it's annoying. Listen, Oedipus, how am I supposed to stockpile enough wine if you're gonna keep asking me for it? Okay, never mind. We're good. We actually could have won this scenario before that request even came in. There we go. That should do it. Okay. So that's the basic template of most of these colony episodes, to be completely honest with you. They're not the most interesting things in the world. Just stockpile a bunch of resources and set it aside. It might be interesting to play through this scenario again later and try to actually kill Talos. I'd imagine that would be very difficult, if not impossible, because... Now, I guess we decided we didn't have access to horses, so that might even be impossible. I'll have to poke around and see if there is a way to do that. In any case, that is this episode 1.
The priestess's prophecy has come true. You have wrested Europa from Talos's grip and delivered her back to her brothers in Greece. Talos, however, is enraged that you have taken his charge from him and is following close on your heels.
Okay. So that means that we are probably going to have to deal with Talos in Thebes in the next episode. Wonderful. In any case, that is this episode complete. In the next episode, we're going to be back at Thebes, I guess, dealing with Talos. So I hope that you found this one interesting. It was a little dull. These colony ones can be. And I'll see you in the next one.